Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie, and a bunch of Flash related stuff has happened since I posted my Arrow review, including our first look at Grant Gustin's Flash costume, so I'm going to be combining that with my Arrow Q&A. If you are finding me for the first time, the Flash TV show has started to blow up so much that I'm doing weekly videos for that in addition to my Arrow videos, so be sure to subscribe to get everything. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just look at it. It's already looking pretty cool. So first, let's talk about the new Flash costume, and then I'll get to your questions. Number 1, as predicted, it's based on the New 52 version of the suit. The image they released is only of the mask, but I expect the rest of the costume to look a lot like the New 52 suit. It won't be exact, but it'll be really close. If you look closely, you can see that the material used makes it look like a tech suit more than, say, lycra or leather like Stephen Amell's Arrow costume. I totally love the look. I think it's awesome that they're sticking with the pre-established comic book version instead of going the Smallville route. I don't expect them to reveal the entire costume until they're ready to air the pilot though. The CW is airing the Supernatural Tribes pilot on the 29th, so there is a strong possibility that they could also air the Flash TV pilot soon. Filming just started this week though, but Grant Gustin and the rest of the cast have been Instagramming the shit out of Vancouver. Rick Cosnell, who's playing Edward Thawne, aka Professor Zoom, even took a picture of the Vancouver skyline, calling it Keystone City. The show will take place in Central City, but if you're not familiar though, Keystone City is the origin of the Jay Garrick and Wally West Flashes. During Wally West's run as the main Flash, Gorilla Grodd and the Rogues also started attacking Keystone City instead of Central City. It's also the current location of the Flash Museum after the first one in Central City was destroyed by the Hunter Zolomon Zoom. No idea yet on how it's going to be featured in the Flash TV show, but expect a lot of Easter eggs. Hopefully we will see Grant Gustin in the museum in the pilot, and it would definitely lend some credence to the theory that John Wesley Shipp is playing the Jay Garrick character. I'll report more about what's happening at the set in a video next week, but let me know, what are your reactions to Grant Gustin's Flash costume? Totally awesome, I know, but let's get to your questions. Mages3691 asks, what will happen to Laurel now that she's cleaning herself up? And when will they have Roy more involved with the Arrow team? So she's probably going to start pursuing Brother Blood again. I think that the show is going to give her the satisfaction of taking him down, and Roy will be a big part of next week's episode, The Promise. I'll probably talk more about Roy in a predictions video for that episode. Question number 2, Ali Campbell asks, when do you think that the Flash TV show will start airing? So the expectation is that it will air back to back with Arrow whenever it comes back in the fall, just so it can benefit from that built-in audience. Since Arrow is already really early, they would probably air Flash after it. Typically when they do things like that, the bigger show goes first to draw in more eyeballs, hoping that they'll stick around for whatever's next. That's why they put that brand new show, The Tomorrow People, right after Arrow this season. Question number 3, Scott Smart asks, if this doesn't get an A from you, what kind of episode will? So you're just asking about my rating for the episode. I typically try to reserve A's for like the best things of all things that I watch. So I don't just compare episodes of Arrow to other episodes of Arrow. I'm comparing it to Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, everything else I watch. Ideally, there would only be like a few A's per season, but just because I didn't give it an A didn't mean it was awesome. I did love the episode. Question number 4, Vage the Badass asks, do you think that Slade will turn Roy to his side or at least try? Yes, I think you or someone else made the Anakin Skywalker Emperor comment. He'll definitely try, but the funny thing about Arrow is like most comic book stories, it's not super hard to predict the outcome. He'll almost turn Roy, and then in the hour of need, he'll rally back to the good side. In this case though, no, I think Roy will go a little bit nuts, but he's not going to start working for Slade. Question number 5, Joe Care asks, are Blue Beetle, Metalman, or Booster Gold going to make an appearance? So yeah, there have been a lot of Cord Industries Easter eggs this season. They do have stuff in development, but in terms of who would come on first, I would say Ted Kord, and it would play out like the Grant Gustin episodes. He'd reveal himself as Blue Beetle to Oliver over the course of a 2-part episode. Booster Gold is also really high on the list of people I think Jeff Johns would like to see on the show. They usually reserve big news like that for Comic-Con, so you can expect to find out who's coming on the show next season in a couple months. Question number 6, Laxus Drayar asks, do you think that Laurel finally deciding in no uncertain terms to grow up was because of what Oliver said to her about having loved her half his life, but that he was finally done? So I think that she was already on the fence, but I think that he just kind of pushed her over. I think it was mostly Sarah and her family that were helping her, but he did kind of verbally slap some sense into her. So he was a big part of that, but he wasn't the main reason. Question number 7, Rick Grimes asks, do you think the Team Arrow will try to fight Slade next episode, but then get badly beaten? You're not looking so good, Rick. You should definitely put a band-aid on that. I think that Oliver's face is gonna look like your face after next episode. Unsurprisingly, Roy is also supposed to get his ass kicked. Question number 8, Smoke and Arrow says, I think that Slade hacked the phone to lure Oliver there, so he was totally caught off guard by Slade's presence. Yeah, that was weird. I think that was either Slade manipulating him, or Thea did get kidnapped and she was just trying to get Oliver's help. We'll find out next week. Question number 9, Mom Master asks, will Felicity train a bit or something sorta like that? Yes, the writer said that Felicity will continue to train with Diggle, but we're not going to get any montages like we got last week. It is implied that she'll be learning how to physically defend herself. She will continue to be wonderfully clumsy though. Question number 10, Lee Slade Dragons asks, do you think that Slade's "I will corrupt those he loves" refers to Sarah with the Huntress or Moira? I definitely think that he's going to try and kill Sarah. In his speech he said kill those who follow him. I think that when he talked about those he loves, he was just talking about his family, so Thea and Moira. The funny thing is that Moira is already one of the most corrupt people on the show. And one last bonus question, the Dean Theory asks, will there ever be a time when the island story is finished and the present day stories keep going? Remember when they told the island story from Sarah's perspective? I think that they'll do a little bit more of that, but he was on the island for 5 years, which is a long time, so they will get creative and add some new dimensions to the island stories. I'm also hoping someday that they'll tell flashback stories for Sarah's training with the League of Assassins. Thank you so much for submitting your questions, guys. This was a lot of fun, as always. I'm sure you thought of a billion new questions about the costume while I was making this video. Feel free to write them in the comments and we'll try and answer them there. So remember, next week is huge. Supposedly, The Promise, the episode, is supposed to make the season 1 finale look like a really crappy student film. Be sure to subscribe to get my video. I also might do a predictions video if you guys want in the next couple of days. Right now, click here to get my review of the Arrow episode, and click here to get my latest Flash video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tonight. High fives.